Good evening, you're now with me, Razi Ahmad, for TVS Nightline. Here are the headlines for tonight. Sarawak is set to showcase its rich political legacy with a new Museum of Administrative History in Kuching, planned for completion within 5 years. The Education Ministry is standing firm on keeping the matriculation program, saying it complements the STPM in supporting merit-based university admissions. On global affairs, Nepal's new interim prime minister has pledged to heed protesters' calls for reform after mass youth demonstrations ousted her predecessor. Sarawak plans to open a Museum of Administrative History in Kuching within 5 years, tracing the state's journey from the Brunei Sultanate to the Brooke Dynasty, British rule, and Malaysia. Sarawak Premier Datuk Patinggi Tan Sri Abang Joritun Openg says the museum will document Sarawak's political and administrative past and give the youth a clear sense of the state's identity.
Dan insyaAllah dalam program kita lagi, kita akan menubuh satu lagi museum yang khasnya untuk mempamerkan sejarah pentadbiran dari era pemerintahan Sultan Brunei, lepas itu kepada era pemerintahan Brooke, koloni dan akhirnya Malaysia.
Abang Johari adds that the museum will take shape inside a repurposed building in Kuching, with the exact site to be revealed later.
Within 5 years. Within 5 years. Museum is something on facts. You have to do research on facts plus academic, and then lepas tu baru kita pamerkan. You need a lot of research. Bukan senang.
Speaking during the night at the museum program at the Borneo Cultural Museum today, Abang Johari says the new establishment will complete the existing network of museums in Sarawak. The Museum of Administrative History, he says, will be the third pillar in the chain, connected to archives that house data on Sarawak's economy, culture, and history. Sarawak's investment in modern interactive museums is a move that the state says will strengthen community ties to history and reinforce Sarawak's cultural identity. Abang Johari stresses that the initiative is vital not just for education, but to keep the younger generation connected to their roots in an ever more digital world.
Cara hidup yang sudah berubah. Jadi anak-anak, kita hendaklah kenal siapa kita. Kita hendak kenal kenapa budaya kita begini. Dan kita hendak kenal bagaimana kita hendak sama-sama membentukkan masa depan kita. Dalam hal ini, Kerajaan Sarawak melabur banyak pelaburan, umpamanya museum ini yang kita bangunkan, yang agak harganya boleh tahan juga.
Abang Johari adds that the initiative is designed to engage a digital-savvy generation, positioning museums as a bridge between modern technology and tradition.
Dalam hal ini, museum penting kerana ia menyimpankan sejarah data-data tersebut yang menjadi asas untuk kita melihat apa kita sekarang. Why we are here today? Why we have this culture? Because of the past. Jadi ini menjadi satu pengajaran kepada kita. Dan sudah tentu kita lihat apa pula budaya akan datang.
News, the Sarawak State Disaster Management Committee, SDMC, has been mobilized to coordinate early preventive measures ahead of the monsoon season. These efforts include the cleaning of high-risk areas and ensuring logistics are in place for rapid response. Deputy Premier Dr. Amar Douglas Uga Ambas warns that with climate change making weather more unpredictable, vigilance and proactive planning are now critical.
Banjir ini memang tidak menentu. Climate change adalah satu isu yang berhadapan dengan kita. Malah last week ada banjir di Kenawit, kemarin di Serian, and then di Sibu pun ada banyak-banyak sikit. So what is critical at the moment is for our committee to be prepared to face whatever eventuality. We will remind our SDMC to learn from the past, kerana kita memang tidak dapat meneka the degree of the event. But whatever it is, we have some event which is very monumental, which we can be a lesson to us.
Meanwhile, on flood relief, UGA confirms cash aid has already been distributed to evacuees sheltering at temporary centers. As for victims who did not relocate, he says aid for them is under review, in line with National Security Council guidelines. Welcome back. The Education Ministry is ruling out abolishment of the matriculation program, arguing both it and the STPM meet merit-based university entry requirements. Its Minister Fadlina Sidek stresses both education systems are being strengthened to give students an edge, including leadership development.
Tak ada, dua-duanya memberikan, macam saya kata ini, memenuhi merit untuk masuk ke universiti awam, dan kita pertahankan kedua-duanya sehingga hari ini berdasarkan sistem pendidikan yang ada ketika ini.
She was responding to University Malaya Association of New Youth's call to abolish matriculation and use STPM as the sole standard for public university admissions. However, the association has since issued an apology for using the word abolish, acknowledging that it may have caused misunderstandings. Fadlina is urging all sides to stop the bickering, warning that petty disputes only fuel negative perceptions of both programs under the Education Ministry. The main priority, she says, is ensuring students receive the education they deserve.
Communications Minister Fahmi Fadzil is set to meet representatives of Meta, the parent company of Facebook, over a surge in online gambling ads plaguing the platform. He says cracking down is crucial to stem cybercrime. Authorities note that most content removed so far involves these gambling promotions, still far too easy for users to access.
Dan aduan yang kami telah sampaikan dari awal hinggalah ke sekarang, sekiranya satu iklan judi itu dibayar oleh menggunakan satu kredit kad sebagai contoh, sepatutnya Facebook setelah mengetahui ini adalah kandungan yang tidak dibenarkan dalam Malaysia, maka kita minta supaya akaun kredit kad yang digunakan untuk membeli iklan judi juga disekat. Tapi Facebook enggan berbuat demikian.
Fahmi makes it clear that the government has no intention of shutting down Facebook. Instead, he says the focus is on dialogue with Meta to ensure the platform is used responsibly to drive economic and social growth. He warned that national leaders and sports icons are being exploited through deceptive technology to push fake investment scams. Previously, the ministry was flooded with complaints from police and the public over the rise of problematic content on Facebook. Nepal's new interim prime minister is promising to meet protesters' demands to end corruption.
taking office after mass youth demonstrations forced out her predecessor. 72-year-old former Chief Justice Sushila Karki now faces the task of restoring order and delivering on a corruption-free future, with national elections just 6 months away.
सक्तो हामीले के गर्यौं भने 6 महिना मात्रै अवधि त्यो भन्दा बढी नबस्ने कुनै हालतमा पनि हामीले पूरा यो आफ्ना काम कारबाही गरेर हामी चाहिँ मुक्त हुने र नयाँ आउने संसद नयाँ आउने मन्त्रीहरूलाई जिम्मेवारी र दायित्व सुम्पिने हाम्रो चाहिँ एउटा हामीले अठोट गरेका छौं। मलाई जहाँसम्म लाग्छ यो अठोटमा यहाँहरूको साथ नपाइकन सम्भव चाहिँ छैन। त्यो यहाँहरूले साथ.
Protests erupted last Monday after a ban on social media, quickly turning violent as parliament and government buildings were set on fire, fueled by Nepal's long-standing economic crisis. At least 72 people were killed and more than 190 injured over just 2 days, up from an earlier toll of 51. Soldiers have now pulled back from the streets after being deployed in force during the height of the unrest. Karki's appointment, seen as a mark of her independence, followed heavy negotiations led by Army Chief General Ashok Raj Sigdal and President Ramchandra Paudel, who also met with representatives of the Gen Z youth movement. Parliament has been dissolved and elections are set for March 5, 2026. Top U.S. diplomat Marco Rubio today began a visit to Israel after expressing the Trump administration's unwavering support for its ally in the Gaza genocide, despite a strike in the Qatar that drew broad criticism of Israel. The trip is taking place after President Donald Trump rebuked Israel over the unprecedented attack against Hamas leaders meeting in Doha on Tuesday. It marked Israel's first such strike against U.S. ally Qatar and has put renewed strain on diplomatic efforts to bring about a truce in Gaza.
It's not going to shake our relationship with Israel. It's going to remain strong. And sometimes, things happen or come up in those relationships that perhaps you're not 100% aligned with or what have you. But it's not going to change the nature of our relationship with the Israelis. But we are going to have to talk about it.
But Rubio adds that the U.S. and Israel were going to have to talk about its impact on truce efforts.
Israelis. Yeah, look, we're going to meet with them. We're going to talk about what the future holds and what I'm going to get a much better understanding of what their plans are moving forward. What's happened has happened. Obviously, we were not happy about it. The president was not happy about it. Now we need to move forward and figure out what comes next.
Israel's strike in Doha targeted Hamas leaders gathering to discuss a new ceasefire proposal put forward by the U.S. See the world closer with TVS as we bring you the latest news updates both locally and internationally. For more headlines anytime, anywhere, just head on to our official website at tvsarawak.my or follow us on our social media platforms at TV Sarawak. And those were the updates on TVS Nightline. I'm Razi Ahmad. Thank you for watching and have a good night.